Hello and welcome to another episode of Quick Expert Reviews. Today we've got the Nokia 5.4, a follow-up to 2019 Nokia 5.3, and this is the actual unboxing. As usual, we do at the very beginning of the video just to see what's in the box. Now, in this box, you actually just get a box standard charger rated at, I believe, 10 watts. And then we've got the Type-C cable as well. So unfortunately, no headphones, no cases, a SIM tray open tool, and obviously the warranty plus the quick start guide. So bare essentials. This is the back of the handset. So we've got the fingerprint sensor, we've got all the four lenses, we've got the the power button, volume up, volume down on the right side, headphone jack on top. And then on the left side, we've got the Google Now button plus the SIM tray. We're going to open the SIM tray as usual, just to see what type of SIM tray we've got. And we have a standard SIM tray, which means we can use two SIM cards plus a memory card. So it's not a hybrid. You don't have to sacrifice a second SIM card for the memory card, which is always a huge, massive plus. One bottom firing speaker and a Type-C port on the bottom as well, coupled with the second mic as well. On the front, we've got the front-facing camera, obviously. We've got the earpiece, and we obviously have the 6.39-inch IPS LCD display rated at 400 nits. So pretty decent display. It is kinda 1080p, but I'm saying kinda because it's 1560 by 720, so it's not 1920 by 1080. So unfortunately, not the best screen resolution, but at least it helps when it comes to gaming. When it comes to security updates, the last one was done in October 2020, which is weird because this is fairly newish phone and I was expecting a bit better than that. Anyway, we have the fingerprint swipe. So if you'd like to reach the notification pane, you can do that by swiping on the fingerprint sensor. We've got some additional shortcuts like jump to the camera by pressing the power button twice, which is always nice. Obviously, you can switch it off if you don't want to use it. Then you've got prevent ringing, all the standard Nokia Android features. And then we've got the system navigation. So we can use the standard back, home, and recent, or we can use the more modern gesture navigation, which allows us to use gestures like back, forward, and swipe from the bottom to go to the main menu and so on. We've got the double tap to wake, which is pretty decent, but you have to do it slowly for the phone to unlock. Unlock lid up, the display to lid up. So that's that. When it comes to security, we've got the fingerprint sensor and we've got a face unlock. Obviously, the fingerprint sensor is a bit more secure and it is on the back of the device. So there is no nonsense on the display fingerprint sensor. There's one on the back, which always works great. And there is also face unlock. So this is the face unlock. As you can see, slightly slower than the fingerprint sensor, which I tested at the beginning. But it does a pretty decent job. What else have we got in here? Storage-wise, we've got 64 gigs of internal storage. Obviously, as you've seen, expandable by memory cards. When it comes to sound, there aren't that many options. There isn't like Dolby Atmos or I don't know, anything like that, any enhancers or even an equalizer. You'd have to download a third-party app for an equalizer. We've got a dark mode, system-wide dark mode, which you can schedule sunset to sunrise. so it turns automatically, or you can force it to be working when you want it to. Obviously, when it comes to display, you've got a couple of more features like changing the font, the lock screen, at a glance. So you lift the phone and it shows you what happened when you didn't touch the phone, for example, any missed calls and stuff like that. Okay, and then obviously we've got the Bluetooth, we've got the NFC, which is always nice, especially for Google Play. When it comes to Bluetooth, it's 4.2, it's not 5.0. When it comes to pre-installed apps, as you can see, I did install some of the games, Netflix and so on, but when it comes to pre-installed apps, apart from my phone, which is Nokia own property app with like the user guide and stuff like that, checking warranty, that's pretty much it. So pretty clean when it comes to bloatware. When it comes to cameras, we've got the 48 megapixel main unit with an f-stop of 1.2 and face detection autofocus. We've got a 5 megapixel 13 millimeter ultra wide and two 2 megapixel cameras, one macro, and the other one is actually more of a depth sensor rather than a full-blown camera. We've got an LED flash, and we can record in 4K at 30 frames per second, which I'll show you in a second as well. You can obviously record videos in HEIF format, photos. You can use your own watermarks as well, so you can customize them to your liking if you'd like to. So personal message, your name, for example, or the name of the channel, or your blog, or your Instagram, and stuff like that. And every time you take a photo, obviously it's going to show up on the actual photo itself. And you can customize the look of it as well. So it works quite nice if you like that kind of stuff. Obviously, you can just use personal message, or if you'd like to, you can use personal message plus the name of the device you've used to take the picture on. And as I've mentioned, recording in full HD, but if you download third-party apps like, for example, Open Camera, which is free open source camera, you can record in 4K at 30 frames per second. In terms of special modes, you've got the time lapse and slow motion. Weirdly enough, when you press those 4 squares or you press more, you got exactly the same result. So I'm not really sure why is there more and an icon of 4 squares, because that's just doubling it up. If you'd like to, you can use the ultra wide lens in video as well. So it's not only for photos, and you've got a quite familiar circle menu. If you ever had a Nokia phone before, that works really well. As you can see, the phone actually runs pretty well. We're going to test the audio soon, but obviously having the Snapdragon 610, I believe, 662 actually, and 4 gigs of RAM, depending on the market, or 6 gigs of RAM, it works quite well. Right, so let's actually listen to... Okay, so that was the audio and screen test. Now we're gonna do some gaming. As usual, I'm gonna use quite CPU intensive Minecraft. As you can see, it runs really well. It actually runs in 60 frames, and that is with fancy clouds on. That means that Roblox, for example, will work as good, if not better, as well as Minecraft. Um, so yeah, pretty impressive. Unfortunately for Nokia, Xiaomi X3 exists as well, which is overall just a better phone when it comes to gaming, photos, and everything. So yeah, it's a decent phone if you like Nokia's because it's not bloated like the Xiaomi, for example. Well, the Poco phone because it's a separate brand to Xiaomi, but overall, I'd personally go with the Poco X3 because of the sharper screen, better processor, better cameras, and everything. So this is Call of Duty Mobile, which, as you can see, works really well as well. And last but not least, we are going to test Google Stadia. I don't know what it is. I have absolutely no idea what it is. But usually, Stadia runs really poorly on Nokia phones. I did a review recently of the Nokia 3.4, and it was absolutely unplayable. This time it's slightly better, but there is still a bit of a lag, which is weird because on the Xiaomi Poco X3, on the Note 9, which is like 3 years old nearly now. Is it 3 years, 2 years, 2 years, 2020 Ultra, 2019? Yeah, 3 years old now. It runs flawlessly. It runs flawlessly on the KingPad SA10 tablet, which is like a £99 tab. However, on the Nokia phones, it kind of lags every now and then. It is way better on the 5.4 than it was on the 3.4, but still, as you can see, yep, your game might stop, your connection is poor, and so on, which I don't really get. Why is it happening? Is it because of the poor Wi Fi antenna? Is it the actual phone? But overall, other than that, it works quite well. The closer to router you are, the better. So yeah, thanks for watching another episode of Quick Expert Reviews, and I'll speak to you soon, guys. Bye.